Hi guys, I'm Lily Nova and welcome to my channel. All throughout your life holds hints of where you've been, who you really are, and who you're supposed to be, where you're going. This topic came up tonight and I wanted to share some insights and examples from what I've found on my journey, and hopefully it can bring you guys some clarity or at least get you guys thinking. So I've always loved space. I've always thought it was very beautiful. I was fascinated by it, galaxy color, everything, all throughout my life. And it wasn't until COVID I discovered astrophotography, and now I'm an astrophotographer. I had no idea growing up that I would be taking pictures of these nebulae and galaxies and of the night sky. But I always felt drawn to space. And you may also have always felt drawn to space. And since the UFOs came, now I understand more of why I've always felt this calling to the stars. When it comes to my star origins, I distinctly remember growing up, I went through a phase where I drew cat people, these feline beings with cat heads and normal bodies. I would dress them up in different outfits, make different characters. I would draw groups of them, make stories about them. After the UFOs came and I discovered that I was what's known as a starseed and found out about these feline beings and that I originate from Lyra and have been a feline being before, I realized that growing up I was actually tapping into hidden memories and just hidden knowledge. There was a reason why I was obsessed with drawing these feline beings, why I loved cats, why I made cat people. Growing up, I also always drew the eye, obsessed with drawing eyes. I thought they were beautiful and I just always naturally drew them. That's what I just naturally wanted to draw. And at the beginning of my awakening, after the UFOs and the star beings began visiting me, they showed me the eye all the time. I would see the eye in the clouds. I would see the eye in a book. I would see it on a sticker, just all over the place, the eye. And what they were telling me was that I was the creator. They were teaching me that I am the creator. You are the creator. We are all pieces of the creator. We are the universe experiencing itself in human form. That was one of the reasons why they showed me the eye. Then a friend suggested, maybe it's the third eye, because I kept seeing it. And I'm like, why do I keep seeing this eye? It was the third eye. It meant third eye vision. I began meditating, and then I began having visions. I had third eye sight. And the universe was giving me clues for that all of my life. I was always drawn to the eye. I always drew it. The universe was planting seeds all throughout my life, and it's really quite remarkable. After I began meditating, I was shown past lives of mine. Then things began to make sense. I've always felt drawn to ninjas. Every time I saw a ninja movie or like Kill Bill came on, I got super pumped and it felt like muscle memory was kicking in and I could just do some ninja moves. During one of my meditations, I had a vision of being a ninja in medieval China. So I had been a ninja before. That's why I had felt so drawn to them all my life. I've also always been very attracted to Greek mythology and Egyptian mythology, ancient times, ancient culture. As I began awakening to all this and seeing past lives of mine, it began to make sense. I have lived lives in ancient Greece and ancient Egypt. Many of us have had many lives on earth before. Deep down, we know that there's something more to these ancient cultures. The myths say that these gods came down from the stars. And now we're putting the pieces together that these beings may not have actually been gods, but actually extraterrestrials that just seem to have superhuman strength and powers. And we also know deep down that there's just much more to it. There's mystery that surrounds ancient culture and the technological advances that they were able to perform, like creating the pyramids. And we know that something more happened there. We know that there's a huge chunk missing from our history. Before I even knew what the Akashic Records was, I did an Akashic meditation as I was developing my vision. During this Akashic meditation, which, by the way, the Akashic Records are a quantum library of everything. It has all of your lives, everything you've done, all these memories, a quantum record of everything that exists in the quantum field. During my readings, that is what I'm accessing. I am accessing the Akashic Records to pull out information that is relevant to you now and relevant to help you remember who you are. So I did this Akashic meditation, and it was the craziest thing. Thoth, the Atlantean, which you'll recognize him from ancient Egypt as an ancient Egyptian god. He was an avian, which is a bird being, which now I know that there are avians from Lyra, just like there are feline beings from Lyra. There's another planet with these half-bird humanoid beings. So Thoth shows up and takes me on a journey across the water, across the ocean or sea, and took me to Atlantis. And I was told that I had lived in Atlantis before. And I saw the pyramids. It was gold, bright, beautiful. And that's how I discovered that Atlantis really existed and that I had connections with Atlantis. I've also always been very attracted to the supernatural and the paranormal. And it definitely came in handy because doing CE5's human-initiated contact with UFOs and these other dimensional beings, they come and manifest in ways that is supernatural. It's supernatural. It's interdimensional. In my visions, I've also seen mermaids. I've seen fairies. So I've always felt a connection to fairies and mermaids growing up. And now that I've seen them in my visions and know that they could just be these other beings from other planets, like mermaids could be from Sirius where they have a water planet, it's just, the pieces start to come together. It's really, really interesting. I think all of the folklore and mythology throughout Earth, throughout our history, it definitely has some truth connected to it, and it came from somewhere. We didn't just make this all up. Also, growing up, I had a white tiger stuffed animal that I had for many, many years, longer than I should have probably. And as I began awakening and developing my extrasensory gifts, I found that the tiger was actually my spirit animal. It was a spirit animal that had been with me all my life, and I've seen visions of this animal many times. So then I realized that spirit animals are legit. We all have one. We all have spirit guides, and often the universe can communicate with us through symbolism in animals, through messages in animals. So if you ever see an animal and it sticks out to you, or you always see one, or you always feel drawn to a certain one, look into the spiritual meaning. It could have a message for you. So I've always loved space, and now I am a space photographer. Whenever COVID happened, I went out under the stars, and that was the only place that I felt home, was being under the night sky. And after the UFOs began coming to me, and they guided me to discovering that I was a starseed and what a starseed was, which a starseed is just someone who does not originate from Earth, who has had many lives on other planets in other galaxies. Earth may seem a little foreign to you. And after I discovered that, it all began to make sense. That's why I always felt different, or like I didn't belong, and I didn't know where home was. If you grew up being the black sheep, typically we're very sensitive to energy too. So growing up, you may have gotten anxiety from being around other people or being in big crowds, and now it begins to make sense. That's why there was nothing wrong with us. We were just different and had different abilities. Growing up, I always loved drawing and painting. I loved creating. I loved writing. I wrote stories all the time. I wrote poetry. I loved taking pictures. So if you enjoy doing any of those things, and maybe you wrote stories about certain things, or drew certain things, or was attracted to a certain type of music or lyrics, it could hold hints of your gifts, of who you really are and where you originate from. Just like how I used to draw the lion, feline people all the time, and I used to draw the eye all the time. And then I was able to develop my third eye, and I have the gift of vision. And you all have gifts too. Whatever gets you excited, whatever lights you up, whatever gets you in that flow state is the key. And that is you channeling higher vibrations, channeling information from higher realms. Whatever you enjoy creating, whatever you enjoy doing. And as a kid, what did you love doing? What did you grow up liking? What did you grow up attracted to? Like for me, it was the white tiger, drawing, writing, space, Greek and ancient mythology. Children are way more sensitive and able to tap into this other information, channel this other information, because the world hasn't bogged us down yet or distracted us or told us that it's not possible. So it's very easy as a child to tap into this other knowledge, this higher knowledge. So think back. What did you like doing? What did you enjoy growing up? Was there anything that you felt super attracted to and just loved as a child? It could hold keys as to who you truly are and where you come from. I recently did a reading for somebody who, after a few big things I revealed that I found through my meditation, she said, I've always had a feeling, but I never listened to my intuition. So intuition, a huge key player here. You know, what are you naturally drawn to? What do you naturally feel in your gut? That is this higher knowledge communicating with us. So honor your intuition. You can practice your intuition, and it's like a muscle. It will grow stronger. You'll be able to receive more information from it. What are you naturally, subconsciously drawn to? So those are a few stories and examples of what I've found throughout my life that just recently began to make a whole lot of sense as I discovered my soul's history and what I have connections with. So I hope that those stories and examples helped you to begin thinking about some connections that you may have, some revelations, hopefully bring a little bit more clarity. What are you naturally, subconsciously drawn to? What does your intuition tell you? What lights you up? What gets you excited? What do you love to create? The universe is leaving little hints for you throughout your whole life, and following your bliss will allow you to tap into this higher wisdom, these higher vibrational energies, and will help lead you on your path to your purpose. That's what your purpose is, to follow your bliss and use your unique energy, your unique wisdom, characteristics, experiences to help the world and to just experience life on this earth plane during this great shift, this great transformation. So hopefully that got you guys thinking, got you guys reflecting, got you guys inspired. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you intuitively feel like that's it. That was the universe telling me something. Whatever jumps out to you, let me know what your intuition says. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time, Star Brothers and Sisters. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to receive notification every time I upload a video. If you would like a Star Origins reading, check the description and click the link. See you later, Star Brothers and Sisters.